All right, good evening. And I already cleaned off the can, so don't come at me and say I'm being dirty, wiped it off and all that. Doing a little mini can, but regardless, I haven't done the regular and I've been lacking on the drinks like I always say. But um we are reviewing Pepsi, okay? I think the closest thing I did to this was when I was eating that meal in Medellin and I had that Coke, which I just think it was a regular Coke. It wasn't a Mexican Coke. But Pepsi and Coke taste very similar. I'm going to start you off just like that. But I can tell you right now, just because both of them have caramel flavoring in there and they taste like caramel, there is a very distinct taste for each. In my humblest opinion, you might as well say it's a fact because it's a fact. It's not any feelings that I'm putting into there. Coke and Pepsi do not taste the same. Let me say it again. Coke and Pepsi do not taste the same. Now that I said that and I got that out the way, let's jump right into this. Yeah, you heard that shit. Woo! I might say, and I'm gonna compare them throughout the video, but regardless, yeah, that's the dryer, but just ignore that. Yeah, I would have to say which has more of a bite to it. Um, Definitely the Coke got more bite to it. Whenever it's canned, I would recommend bottle because Pepsi and Coke in a glass bottle, is always for the win. If you don't have that in your area, check that out. But we're reviewing Pepsi today. Pepsi is a little bit more it is sugary. Like the ingredients on here, it's carbonated water, high fructose corn syrup, caramel color, sugar, phosphate, caffeine, citric acid. Basically, what they use to cultivate to make that carameling flavor. Um, it's not like regular Dr. Pepper has like nuts and nutty flavor in there, or like a nuttier flavor in there. But if I could describe Pepsi, not it's like an unsalted caramel that's dumbed down. Now, I don't know if regular Pepsi has like a sugarcane form like Coca-Cola does. But regardless, and like I said, I believe the only reason they keep making this, yeah, people are drinking it, but they're not drinking it like that. Because it tasted better when I was a kid, and it's probably because they had a lot of stuff in there they weren't supposed to, but Pepsi makes a lot of things and they have a lot of ownership. If I'm not mistaken, they have ownership in Frito-Lay. Pepsi owns a lot of stuff, whether you believe it or not. So they don't really, if they stop making this soda, they still would have ownership of a lot of other snacks and other commerce. But this has always been a staple. They get a 10 for nostalgia. Going into the convenience store as a kid, the people I was with, they would scoop up Pepsi and stuff. Like, I was more of like a juice guy, things like that. Pepsi goes good with a heavy meal, like if you had a barbecue. But most of the time, people would be on the cheap and they didn't want to pay the main brand prices, so they would have like off-brand cola. But Pepsi has a distinct taste that you're not going to get with a great value soda or off-brand mom and pop cola. And just like RC is different, just like Coca-Cola is different, or they had that Dr. Wright, or just a whole bunch of different other colas, or excuse me. But and I'm trying to remember, it might have been on one or two occurrences where I actually actively picked up a Pepsi in a can from the store. But usually if it was a pop machine back when sodas and pops used to be 50 cents, And that was for a normal size can, not this little rinky dink 7.5 ounce. It was I believe it was the 12-ounce can. If I'm not mistaken, it might be more than that. But yeah, 50 cents. And I used to stay at a pop machine, especially at church. Go in there, pop in 50 cents, go ahead and chug that bad boy and burp real loud. Yeah. But I bought them more from pop machines than anything. But if they had like Mountain Dew, I was a Mountain Dew kid. I liked Mountain Dew. Some people will say Pib is better than Dr. Pepper, or Dr. Pepper is better than Pib. They're the same thing. They offer a lot of different things whenever I was a kid, and I'm trying to think, there was another soda, but I digress. Regardless, I wasn't really a Pepsi getter, but I knew people that banged with Pepsi or banged with cola. Like it was like Twilight, Team Edward, Team Jacob, night and day. And then people, they're like, oh no, Coke's better, no, Pepsi's better. I'm not here to tell you to choose a side or not, because we're reviewing Pepsi, and like I said, they're above average still, and obviously they have a client base. It's not based off feelings, it's based off of taste. And it's I would like more carbonation out of them. I kind of like a bite to a soda, and it don't have the same bite as I remember it having as a kid. I don't know if it's just my tolerance, and that's crazy to say because I rarely, almost ever, drink carbonated beverages. Almost ever. Only time I do it is I'll pop a couple sips for these reviews to get the taste in my mouth. So, but yeah, it's kind of hard. But like I said, I explained the flavoring, and like it's like a mild caramel at that. So it's not like overly sugary or anything like that, even though it does have a good amount of sugars in here, 25 grams and just in this little can. But yeah, I would probably give it, it's at the end of the average scale, which it tops out at a 7. Okay. And like if I was down to my last dollar, I probably would not get Pepsi. There's other colas out there if I'm a soda drinker, or there's other soft drinks out there that are far, way, way, way better, that just fatigues my interest and just catches my attention right off the bat. But if you never had Pepsi, that's the review for it. I would highly recommend you checking out them first before you try any of their other flavors, because you might not even eat in all their flavors. They always have the set, most of the flavors start off with the base and then they add to it. So if you don't like the original, don't get the rest. That simple. Gave them a 7. But like I said, if you like me making content like this and you want me to continue to make content like this, like, share, subscribe, turn on the bell notifications, and if you want to donate to the channel, go ahead and hit up my bio. Can I speak? Go ahead and hit up my bio, and it'll tell you exactly what to do. That just threw me off right there. I ain't even gonna stitch that. But I thank you guys for stopping by, and like I always say, until next time, take care. I'm tired, but I'll see you guys next time.